So in previous modules, you saw how we used Core ML in order to use a ready-made plug-and-play ML model to perform image recognition by adding it to our Xcode project. Now, in this tutorial, we're going to be going one step further, and we're going to show you how to convert a pre-trained Caffe model into the ML model format that you can use in your Xcode projects. So some of the code that you'll see in this tutorial will be more intermediate to advanced, but they have all been covered in the tutorials previously. So ideally, you should have completed all of the modules leading up to this module. That way you'll know all about do catch blocks, as well as guard statements, and a lot of the things that we'll be using in order to make this app. So the Caffe model that we're using has already been trained on thousands upon thousands of images. And all that we're doing is taking that Caffe model and converting it into a .ml model, which can be seen and used by our Swift files and which can be loaded into our app. So as I mentioned previously, Apple has released open source tools in Python that allow you to convert any pre-trained model that have been trained using Caffe, Keras, scikit-learn, and a whole list is available and I'll link to it. But the most important thing is that you need that .ml model file in order to incorporate it into your Xcode project. And we're going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. So when we were first talking about machine learning, I mentioned one of my favorite apps is an app called Garden, and allows you to take a picture of any flower and it will try to recognize what that flower is called. And in this module, we are going to make a clone of that app. So by the end of the tutorial, everything going well, you will have your very own flower recognition app, and you'll be able to recognize any flower that you see around you, even if you don't have an internet connection, because our machine learning model is going to be preloaded onto the device and it won't need an API. So the dataset that our model has been trained on is called the Oxford 102 flower dataset. So a bunch of researchers from Oxford did a very, very time-consuming task by labeling a whole bunch of images of flowers with the correct classification of the flower. And the reason why it's called Oxford 102 is because they have 102 categories for the flowers. And as you can see in their dataset, they've got anywhere between 400 and 200 images for each and every category. So for example, they have 71 images of buttercups. They have 102 images of Californian poppies. So images taken at different angles of the flower, at different stages of life cycle of the flower, so that if you train a machine learning model on it, it should be able to classify with relative accuracy what flower is in the image that you've taken. So a very kind gentleman by the name of Jimmy Good has used convolutional neural nets to train a machine learning model using this data set. And that is the Caffe model that we're going to be working with in this tutorial. All right, so I'm just going to show you what the finished app will look like and what it will do. So our app is called What Flower, and it's got a nice little icon, and I'm going to show you how to create that step by step as well. And if you tap on it, you're able to hit the camera button, and we're going to take a picture of some flowers I've got around here. All right, so there's our flower, and we're going to hit Use Photo. And voila, it tells us that this is called a Barberton daisy. I had no clue. And this is the image that we pull up from the Wikipedia article for the Barberton daisy. And there's a little bit of description about what it is from Wikipedia. Isn't that really, really cool? So this is what we're going to be building, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So let's get started.